Good evening, buonasera. I would like to welcome everybody to this really wonderful place, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank Giulio Cappellini, who designed this amazing space for us and for Alcantara, of course. And my name is Lucia Grenna, and I work at the World Bank at Connect4Climate, which is an initiative and a partnership program that we define as a campaign, a coalition, and a community that cares about climate change. We launched this partnership program in 2011 thanks to the generous support of the Italian Ministry of Environment, Land and Sea, and we are delighted that the Minister is here with us tonight. It has been his vision, trust, support that has enabled us to build a strong social media platform and engage with a wide range of diverse audiences to promote behavioral change. I know many of you are following globally live through our web streaming, and I would like to thank TVN for allowing us to have the live stream, and also the climate group in London that is tweeting us live as we speak. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Minister Clini tonight. Thank you.
Grazie. Thank you very much. Let me to welcome Alcantara in Connect4Climate. Thank you very much. Connect4Climate is an initiative we are supporting for the dissemination in all the world, and mainly in the developing world, of the awareness, the informations, and also the best solutions for addressing climate change. I want to thank the bank, Lucia, for the partnership. I remember that more or less 40 days ago in Washington, we had the presentation of Connect4Climate with the president of the bank. It was a very amazing event, well participated, not only in Washington but around the world, because we had a lot of people connected with us. And I want to underline that today we link Connect4Climate with the design, with the sustainable design. And really I am very, very happy to have with us Alcantara, because you are a brand of the sustainable, innovative, and intelligent design. Thank you very much. I give you the floor.
I stand up as I will introduce prominent people later on, immediately after. Thank you, Mr. Minister, and thank you everybody for coming to Alcantara Dialogue, the joint project between World Bank, Connect4Climate, and Alcantara. Before introducing the VIP, I would like to say a few things about the startup of this project. Everything started several months ago from some informal discussion we had with the people of World Bank and Connect4Climate. And very soon we found out that there was a common ground, common shared values, and possible common goals regarding sustainability. So we undertook this project, and I'm very happy now to be here to the opening of it. Sustainability is a very broad subject. Sustainability can be related to virtually any human activity. Sustainability have a lot of connection with the social, with economic, and with politics. Alcantara is a business, and so we are and must be very sensitive to the economic side of our activities. We are competing in the international market, and we are confronting situations that sometimes are economically harsh. Nevertheless, we do believe that sustainability is an opportunity rather than a cost. And this is quite unusual in the business community. We do a lot of activity in the field of sustainability. Probably the most important is carbon neutrality. We have been the first company to become carbon neutral. This was 2009. We still are carbon neutral, and our direction is to go in that way. That's why we wanted, with enthusiasm, to join this project. That's why we did any possible effort, and we gave our best to support World Bank and Connect4Climate to set up this project by providing this space, which has been designed by our art director, Giulio Cappellini, and more than that, providing some know-how and a long-lasting relationship with the designer community, the top of the designer community. So I really hope that at the end of this week, after the discussion in the different panels, we will have a better understanding, especially new ideas on how sustainability can be considered an opportunity in many different fields, socially, in the economy for the corporation, and I'm pretty much sure even in the politics. Now I move on by introducing this VIP, and I'm a little bit embarrassed, so I will go random in this way. So first we have here Giovanna Melandri, president of Maxxi and president of Foundation Women, and previous minister. If you want to say a few things.
Sure. Thank you. Can I stand up? Okay, this is better also for me. I really want to thank Alcantara and the World Bank for having organized this event. It's a great occasion here for us all. And let me say in two very simple words what I think. I mean, we are all living in a very difficult and troubled moment with a lot of problems. But if we look at the future landscape of our common human destiny, and by the way, I'm very honored to be here with Betty on this panel. She's an outstanding woman, and also with Franca Sozzani, another outstanding woman, and two women with vision. And I think that what we need to come out of this very troublesome moment is vision. And if we look at this from our angle, from the Italian angle, vision in Italy means entrepreneurship, capacity of putting together ideas and producing economic activity, art, culture, beautiful objects, designs, Cappellini, a teacher. And I think that all this is a way of sharing with the future generations some reasonable future landscapes. So I'm very happy to be here for two reasons, very quickly. First, Maxxi is a cultural institution, and as such, I think all our cultural institutions should be at the center of this research, of this crossroad. And together with Alcantara, and maybe this is also one of the reasons why I'm here, we have already experienced this. We're not a museum. We are more than a museum. We're much more than a museum. We are a research center. We are a contemporary, we are a place for contemporary research in art, architecture, design. And we want to connect with the private corporations, with the private sector, but not in the old way. You know, the old way was, we have a show, do you want to be a sponsor? This is not the way Maxxi is going to work in the future. We want to connect with the productive and the economic and the business sector in our country, looking at the processes. And this is what we did with Alcantara, with some very interesting shows that we have produced together, looking at how we can use these materials on a sustainable way and on a creative, sustainable, beautiful way. So I really want to thank Alcantara for this. The second reason I'm happy to be here is that I am a former minister. Corrado is not a former minister, he's still a minister. And I've worked for many years on environmental issues in my past. In fact, I mean, our destinies are crossed and crossed and crossed. When I was young, I started working on climate issues when many people in this country were denying climate issues. And Corrado and myself, can we say this? I think we can. Were few of the Italian people working on this. And I think it's so important that the World Bank, with this Connect4Climate, raises the awareness on these issues. And if I may, I would like to offer somehow, we will see how, to this platform, the intelligence and the creativity of Italian designers, people who are working, you know, and working with materials, thinking over and over how sustainability and beauty can be incorporated in the productive process. I think this is so important, and this is the way we're going to win the climate battle. In fact, I said 2 reasons, but there's a very last one. In this moment in Maxxi, and I really invite you all to come and visit us in Rome. We are not the Rome institution, we are a national contemporary art and architecture institution. In this moment in Maxxi, there is a very beautiful show called Energy. And it's a show, we've asked 8 architects from all over the world to think sort of in a very free way how we could move away from a fossil fuel-centered energy system. And what has come out is quite extraordinary. Come to Maxxi and see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Giovanna. Now I would like to introduce you Betty Williams, Nobel Prize for Peace. Thank you, Betty, for coming. If you want to say a few things.
I'll be very brief. You know, when we talk about our world as we see it now, we must talk about the realities of everything that's going on in it. And every single day, even I'm very aware myself in taking a flight to come here, that I'm leaving a carbon footprint in my own life. So one has to look at everything one does. My main issue are the children of the world. I mean, we can work forever and a day for justice, for peace, for freedom, for love, for education, for all the rights that a child should be naturally born into. But no matter how much we fight for all of these things, if we leave a world in the state that it's in, ecologically, we have done a terrible injustice to the children of the world. World Centers of Compassion for Children International, of which I'm the founder, is building a city of peace in the region Basilicata, and we have a research center down there that is waiting for people to come in and research ecological things. I invite you to come and have a look at what we're doing down there, because the beauty of this project is that we saved the land from nuclear waste. They were threatening to dump nuclear waste on this land, and the people in the region got out in their hundreds of thousands, and I joined them because nuclear waste is so frightening. And to see what's happening now in Basilicata, where we have taken that situation from nuclear waste to a city of peace for children, I believe we have to do this. It is our duty, our responsibility to every child in the world to leave them a cleaner, better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you. Yeah. And now I want to introduce you, Franca Sozzani. That probably doesn't need any introduction, but just the chief editor of Vogue Italia and the UN ambassador for Fashion for Development. Thank you, Franca.
Thank you. After Betty, it's very difficult that I'm very well known as to be committed with climate change, but I will try to explain you why I'm very committed to sustainability and lately even with ecology. We, in fashion, we are not very well known like to be the most, I can say, ecological person. It's not true that people, they don't care, they do, but it's a very slow process and very few are working on this direction. But everybody's starting and is doing it. For me, it's already to improve. I mean, it's not something that we can say, okay, we are proud to be to done, but we are really doing step by step. It takes time because it's a kind of a mentality that is not easy to change, but it could be the next step. About sustainability, I always thought to be known as a visual person, but honestly, I found myself to be very committed with sustainability because since few years I do a lot of projects for people because sustainability is not only ecological, it's even social, as you said, of course, and I was more in this way than in the ecological way. But as everybody now, we are aware that what we are doing to this world is a disaster. And what's happened in New York has been a disaster, and probably it will be one of the most, just the last sign of what we are doing because us, not because anyone else. So I started to go more inside in this world, and in a very humble way, because it's not my word. But I understood more. I don't say that I know everything, but I really understood a lot. And I'm still, every day, understand something new. And we tried to make an issue just this month that is about eco-sustainability for l'Uomo Vogue, with taking pictures, of course, in a glamorous way, of the people that they could give a message, how the world could be changed. Started from Bloomberg, the president of the World Bank, I don't know, the mayor of Copenhagen, and to arrive to artists, designer, Mr. Pinot, who is doing a lot, and we decided as a Condé Nast, so it's the first editions in Italy, we are committed with carbon neutral. That it's already not a big step, but it's already a good way to go in the right direction, I hope, to change in our own way, with our own power, what is our commitment for the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Franca. You will give keynotes. And so Giulio Cappellini, architect, renowned, very famous, and art director of Alcantara too.
Good evening. And I think that, this week is really very, very important in Milano because we have the world here. That means that during this week we have 300,000 people. So when the CEO of Alcantara told me that we have the possibility to do something, to speak in a proper way about sustainability during this week, I think I always told him, okay, it's a fantastic project, because frankly speaking, I think that many times we speak about this problem, but looks like something fashionable to speak about sustainability. But after that, you ask too many people what is, and they cannot give you an answer. So I think that really with these roundtables, with this discussion, with these panels that we are going to do starting from this evening, really we can just fix some points. Because I think that, okay, Giovanna told before that in Italy, we are very well known to create good objects, to create fantastic products, and so and so. And I think that now next step from today is on one side to create really beautiful products, but on the other side to try to give to people a better way of life, and this is just saving the place where we live. And I think that in this way, design and architecture can really make people dreaming for the future. Thanks.
And Cyril Muller, Vice President of World Bank for External Affairs.
Thank you. It is highly unusual for the World Bank to be on stage with such a distinguished set of creative minds, political leaders, global leaders, industry leaders, and in areas such as fashion and design, in which probably my predecessors would have felt highly uncomfortable sitting here. Now, let me share with you briefly why the World Bank, through Connect4Climate, is associated with Alcantara. And I want really to thank you for co-hosting this series of dialogues with us, but also for the foresight of the Ministry of Environment of Italy, in which the minister has really been a leading light in this area. And the areas why the World Bank cares about being here today is twofold. One, what is good for Italy may be good for the world. And sometimes one does not like to say. The minister says one hopes so. But it is through design, it is through architecture that solutions for the future that solves the key problems of the planet will come. This world is no longer one in which you transfer basic, simple, sometimes boring solutions from the north to the south. This is really old. What we see today is connections between the south, the north, the south, the south, the south, the south, the north, east and west. These connections are actually also going way beyond the normal boundaries of the private sector, of government, of agencies like the World Bank, of creativity. And we feel very strongly that the World Bank Group has to evolve into being truly a global organization that can bring together all parties around key issues. The mission of the World Bank is, and our slogan, if you enter our headquarters in Washington, is our dream, a world free of poverty. Now, it is also a dream in which you cannot succeed in addressing the issue of poverty if you do not address the issue of sustainability. You can lift all the poor in the world if the next day, due to issues of the environment, social or economic, we collapse. There is no point. So we're very keen to look into the next frontiers, to push the boundaries of what we do and what we think. And this is a great opportunity for us. And we look very much forward to the set of dialogues that will be organized this week. And I'm looking forward also to be on the first panel, which will be really a great pleasure to be with many more creative minds than I am into this area. But design, the link between design, companies leading in that area, thinkers, fashion, energy, governments, and developing countries, creative minds everywhere in the world has never been as easy to touch as tonight. And guess what? We have people in more than, I don't know how many countries, but certainly on a global audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I will ask the panelists to come forward, please. And I would like to thank once again Franca Sozzani, an opinion leader of first class. Thank you for coming, Franca. And Giovanna Melandri, and we will see them both tomorrow at the fashion panel discussion. And thank you, Betty, very, very much for your you stand as a beacon of light and an example of how one person can make all the difference in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea. Minister,